Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back in to the Chippewa Valley High School, home of the Big Reds, as we get set for another MCCAA East matchup between your Macomb Monarchs and the Henry Ford Hawks. Tom Cavanaugh bringing you all of tonight's action between the 11-10 Monarchs, coming off a huge win over OCC, who play a very pivotal match tonight. We'll get into how that plays into these standings. Macomb trying to right the ship here at the end of the year and become the fourth and final playoff team in the Eastern Conference, the MCCAA. And Henry Ford, they, after a 3-match losing streak, got a win over Jackson. They most recently lost to Schoolcraft. They sit at 3-11 overall, 1-6 in conference play. Head coach Kia Chambers over there and head coach Doogie Rochelle with the Monarchs as we get set in just a few minutes for first set. Jordan Flom, 18 kills, 4 service aces, 4 blocks in the win over OCC in 4 sets. They won it 3-1. We'll get you up on how well they played, and this will be the second matchup between these two teams this year. Macomb took it in a sweep 3-0 earlier this season. We'll send it down now to Chris Snyder on the public address for lineups and our national anthem.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's MCCAA volleyball matchup featuring the Henry Ford Hawks and your Macomb Monarchs. At this time, we ask that you please stand as we honor America and those that defend our freedom with the playing of our national anthem. Now let's meet tonight's teams. First for the visiting Hawks of Henry Ford College. A sophomore number 1, Allison Paxton. A freshman number 2, Natalie Hall. A freshman number 4, Chloe Smith. A freshman number 6, Gracie Canunin. A freshman number 7, Madison Stager. A freshman number 8, Malia Brown. A freshman number 10, Sydney Moore. A sophomore number 13, Jade Bates. A freshman number 17, Valerie Esteban Perez. A freshman number 18, Delaney Grossenheider Albano. The Henry Ford assistant coaches are Ariel Fox and Sasha Moore. The Hawks head coach in their 4th season is Kia Chambers. Now here are your Macomb Community College Monarchs. A 5'8" sophomore from Warren, Michigan, number 2, Kara Beaker. A 5'8" freshman from Troy, Michigan, number 4, Karis Perry. A 5'7" freshman from Flushing, Michigan, number 5, Brooke Baker. A 5'1" sophomore from Ortonville, Michigan, number 6, Sophia Kulaga. A 5'4" sophomore from Richmond, Michigan, number 7, Alexis Kuna. A 5'6" freshman from Chesterfield, Michigan, number 9, Corin Hutton. A 5'8" freshman from Sterling Heights, Michigan, number 10, Jessica Banner. A 5'10" sophomore from Shelby Township, number 11, Jordan Flom. A 5'4" sophomore from Richmond, Michigan, number 19, Ashlyn Kuna. And a 5'11" sophomore from Utica, Michigan, number 22, Haley Eller. The Macomb assistant coach is Erica Knieper. The Monarchs head coach in her 7th season is Lauren Doogie Rochelle.
Monarchs tied for 4th place currently in the MCCAA East with Oakland Community College, who they had just beaten recently last week back on October 8th. We talked about Flom with those 18 kills. She tied her season high with that number. Kara Beeker also had 11 herself. Alexis Kuna, 20 digs, and Corinne Hutton with 42 assists. All of them played fabulous. Going to be a big integral piece to tonight's matchup as they look to take care of business against the team in 6th place out of 7 in the conference. Only Jackson is worse. They currently 0-7 in conference play. But Henry Ford, 3 wins on the year, only against 2 different teams. They beat Alpena CC twice, and most recently Jackson at the turn of the month back on October 1st. Just a few regular season matches left, and if Macomb controls their destiny, they will have themselves a playoff chance. Oakland, they play St. Clair County tonight, SC4. They're having one heck of a year. They're 16-4 overall, 7-0 in conference play. They already beat the Owls one time this year, so if SC4 at home can get it done and beat OCC, and Macomb were to handle business and win, they would be alone standing in 4th place, that final playoff spot. Corinne Hutton set to serve to lead things off here. From Chippewa Valley, Henry Ford and Macomb from the MCCAA East. As Jay Bates goes for the swing, it's partially tipped off the hands of Karis Terry, and the Hawks up 1-0. Jade Bates, one of the lone sophomores on this team. Out of 13 girls on this team, just 2 sophomores. Flom had a little bit of an overpass there. Kara Beeker can't dig it out as it was just tipped over, and a hot early start for Henry Ford. Starters for Macomb: Corinne Hutton, Kara Beeker, Karis Terry, Brooke Baker, Alexis Kuna, and Jordan Flom. Bates, her service directly into the net for an error. It's 2-1. Macomb will get it on the side out. And here comes Sophia Kulaga, the #1 server on this team. 41 service aces to lead the squad. Macomb in their home whites, ombreing into that navy blue on the sleeves. It's the dark graphite jerseys for Henry Ford with the blue numbers trimmed in white. Allison Thaxton that time can't get much on it. Macomb wins the point to tie it up at 2 apiece. Looking back at Henry Ford's last matchup, they lost 3-0 to Schoolcraft, another one of the better teams in this conference, along with SC4 and Mott. That's set just a little far back. Not much on it for Kulaga to dig it out. Now Brooke Baker tries to respond with a tip. And it's number 10, Sydney Moorer, tipping it to the middle. No Monarch there. So the scores in that one, 25-13, 25-23, and 25-9 against the Ocelots. After tonight, just 4 more regular season contests for Macomb. 1 more at home. It's the regular season finale. Jordan Flom with the swing, tooled off the hands of Madison Stager and out of play. Knotted up at 3 early on as Kaylee Eller gets her first touches here. Karis Terry will hit the bench. Get a vague look at that scoreboard in your very top right of the screen. 3-3 is Delaney Grossenheider Albano. Shanks that service straight back towards the entrance. Alexis Kuna to serve once more, had a fabulous night. Back last Wednesday with 20 digs, as we mentioned, to open up the broadcast. There's Hutton there to dig it out. Henry Ford had it back. Now it's Baker on the swing, and she splits the defense for a kill. Brooke Baker, 4th on the team in digs with a .190. 76 kills. That's good for 5th best. Looking at this team, we've talked about it, shared wealth across the board. 4 different Monarchs with over 100 kills, and Kuna finds another service ace. 6-3. Macomb winning the last 4 points. And it's Jordan Flom leading the way with 215. Beeker's got a .86. Eller with 126, and Karis Terry with 126. Scramble for it. It's going to be a free ball on the Hawks side. Hutton will set, and a smash from Kaylee Eller. Eller out of Utica, Michigan, standing at 5'11", one of the second-year players on this very veteran Monarch squad. 40 blocks to go along with those 177 kills now. Another service shanked out of play past that Henry Ford bench. And a timeout called by the Hawks. 8-3, Macomb on a run, winning the last 5. We'll take a quick break, come back in 60 seconds. Monarchs up big early in set 1. This is your home for Macomb Monarchs Volleyball. Monarchs trying to make it back to the MCCAA Eastern Conference playoffs for the 3rd straight season. Finished in 4th the last 2 years. Seems to be where they would finish this year, if not for a strong push. Valerie Esteban Perez leaves that deep. 5'7" freshman. You mentioned a very young Henry Ford team. 11 out of 13 girls being first years. Jump service from Kuna. Can't find it, just a little bit wide. So after a long stretch, Henry Ford will get it back on the side out. 9-4 is your score early in our first set. Chloe Smith has now checked in. The floating service, first touch from Flom. The set for Eller. Cross court, out of play. Eller averaging 2.2 kills per set. A little strong on that one. Here's a second service. And Eller finds it this time. Short, far side on the cross shot. Doubling up the Hawks now 10-5. Jordan Flom's first time serving tonight with the jump towards the back. Moore with the set, the tip over, jousted by Eller. Hutton will now set it for Baker. Roll shot, dug out. Moore another set. This time it's Madison Stager. Nice job from Flom to keep it up. Baker will try once more. Diving dig from the Hawks. Stager to roll it over. Set. Eller's blocked. And falls between Hutton and Eller. Strong block that time. The 5'11" freshman Chloe Smith as the middle blocker. She's joined by Madison Stager and Jade Bates. Line drive service to Macomb. Here's the back set. Baker, roll. It's deflected and hits the ground. Point Macomb. Baker getting set up early and often today. As Kara Beaker will check in for Sofia Kulaga. 11-6, set number 1. There's a setup for Bates. Just has to tip it over. She was off her mark that time. Beaker to respond. Nice dig by Malia Brown. Stager deflected on her swing. And now an attack line attack from Flom is dug out. Stager to respond. Good rally here. Beaker finds a kill. Diving was Esteban Perez. Could not dig it out and keep it in play. Eller, Beaker, Baker, and Flom all equally sharing those attack opportunities. And just a little deep on that service from Brooke Baker. Baker with 31 service aces. She's been a great piece as a freshman. Her and Karis Terry have really popped off the charts here when it comes to freshman impact. Hutton with the set. Eller. Wow, dug out from Malia Brown. Nice play. Hutton, the two-hand dump to the middle. That's going to fall between Brown and Moorer. We'll see Hutton do that 3 or 4 times throughout a match. Looking for that set instead. She two-hand dumps it to the middle and finds that opening. 13-7's your score. Kaylee Eller near side to serve right to left. Moorer along with Gracie Kanunen trying to go for that second touch. Terry just tips it over. Henry Ford with a chance. Bates went to bat it down straight into the net. And race to 20, always so crucial. Macomb still doubling up these Hawks and make it an 8-point lead, 15-7. Bates, not a ton on that first touch, trying to play it up. Kaylee Eller on a little bit of a streak here. 23 service aces to go along with 40 blocks and 177 kills. Moorer just barely gets that over. Here's the back set to Flom off the hands of Kanunen and out of play. Those are those plays right there from Kanunen on defense where it's that split-second decision to get your hand in there and dig it out or let it go. That swing right there likely out of play. Flom put a lot on that one. Macomb bailed out. 16-7 currently. Hutton across court set. Beaker, it's blocked and falls down on the Hawks' side. Chloe Smith went for the block. Could not return it over. 17-7 now. Mentioned a match that Macomb needs to win. They'll take on Schoolcraft next week on the road. They get a full 7 days off. Don't play again until the 20th. Nice block from Hutton along with Terry. Terry to bat it down. And a net violation from Henry Ford, I think. Either way, violation on the Hawks to make it 18-7. Well done from Karis Terry on the block, and then to bat it down. Talked about Terry earlier being a huge surprise. 73 blocks, make it 74 on the year. And that service just finds the line. Kaylee Eller squeezes that one in there. Timeout, Henry Ford. It's 19-7. Utter domination early on from Macomb. That service from Eller, from my perspective, thought it could have been out. It just stayed in on the line. But back to Terry, leading the team in blocks. Going to reach 75 tonight for sure. Could get to 80. And she's top 5 in kills with 126. Had a career high, well, season high, career high, same thing as who's a freshman. 12 blocks against OCC earlier this season. She was fabulous. Macomb also 3 wins away from eclipsing their season total from a year ago. They were 14-18 overall, 7-5 in conference play. They currently sit at 11-10 and 3-4. So a win here gets you back to 500 in conference play. If SC4 is able to handle business, OCC would fall to 3-5. And that would put Macomb in the driver's seat, but they still need to play Schoolcraft, SC4, and Mott. Those are 3 of the last 4 teams they play, the top 3 in the conference. They do have Jackson in there as well, who is winless on the season. It's an opportunity to get a win back. Still got to handle business here tonight. 19-7 out of the timeout. There's Terry on the tip. Malia Brown with the bump set. It's sent over. Terry bats it down. Splits 2 defenders. Early and often for Karis Terry up front. Eller continues to serve. 27 is your score. There's a floater. Bates gets it over, out of play. Just kind of threw her hands at it. Didn't have a lot of direction on that touch. Monarchs with a 14-point lead. Aaliyah Brown, that first touch. Here's a bump sent to Thaxton. Rolls it over. Chance for Beaker to go cross court. Diving is Brown, can't get there. 3 points away from a set one win. It's 22-7. Miller been serving for quite some time. Almost an overpass it is. Hits the tape and rolls on Macomb's side. Back set. There's Flom with the roll shot. Shanked out of play near the stands. The more we watch Jordan Flom this year, the better she gets at those 10-foot line attacks. And Corinne Hutton is not afraid to back set it away from the net, giving Flom that chance. And she swung at that 3 or 4 feet behind that 10-foot line, so it's more like a 15-foot shot. Diving is Brooke Baker to get there. Tipping it over with the two-hand dump was Hutton. Now she's going to go for the tip. 23-7 your score. Thaxton on it. Blocked in play. Karis Terry once more. Such an issue for any opponent trying to swing on Karis Terry. She's going to be there for the block and directionally with the hands to bat it down in play. Set point, it's 24-7. Eller to the back corner, calling for it. Wow, that one's way out of play. Thaxton and Brown both went for it, and they shot it nearly onto the baseline. 25-7, your first set final. Henry Ford showed a little life, up 3-1 to start, and Macomb stuck it to him. We'll turn it over to the second set in just a moment. 25-7, your final score after one. Macomb ahead. This is your home for Monarch Volleyball. 25-7 Macomb in set one, and I have to look back on the season record books here. That may be their largest margin of victory in a set all season long. They did beat Jackson fairly handedly earlier this year here at home. I have to get you the numbers there in just a moment. I think 25-9 was the final score of that third set. It was 25-8. The other set was 25-9, so from my knowledge, especially, well, here at home, 25-7, the largest margin of victory in a set. Macomb will open it up, and off the hands of number 18, Delaney Grossenheider-Albano. Swinging a kill from Kara Beeker as she checks out, and Kulaga will now serve on the side out. Kulaga the jump service. Line drive just gets a piece of the tape and trickles over. Back set for Bates. Tips it to the middle. Flom is all over it. Scrambling forward is Hutton on the set. Baker is blocked. Tooled out of play. Point Monarchs. As we talk about, we got Kiris Terry. When she blocks that volleyball, it goes directly back from where it came, landing in play. That time from both Grossenheider-Albano and Bates. As Terry, wow, on the overpass. Bats it down, splitting a couple defenders. Three 0 early. Here's Kulaga. That's perfect, and no surprise why she is the leader in aces on the squad. It's kind of like a knuckleball. You know, it's a floater that just dies halfway, just crossing over the net. And there's really no chance for that back row to get there because it lands right on the end of that V, as you see on the right side. Baker went for the swing. Point Macomb, as there was another, nope, two-touch. It was called on Henry Ford. Jumping out to a 5-0 lead early in the second. Another Kulaga service that just skims the top. Thaxton with the two-hand dump. Baker's all over it. Nice touch to get it to the middle. Now Flom rolls a shot. Knoonan gets it over to Thaxton. Baker dug it out. Now Terry on the tip. Thaxton goes cross court, out of play. No deflection on Macomb. It's 6-0. We saw Kaylee Eller in that first set put together, I think, 10 straight service points. Kulaga, she's on her fifth right now. Flom finds the kill. Goes vertical down the line. No chance for Thaxton. There is some MPH on that swing from Jordan Flom with the left hand. Another Kulaga service that just gets the top of the net and gets over. Sophia just on the pass over, and Brooke Baker finds it in play. Just clips the back line. Our right side line judge in blue with the red flag pointing downwards, signaling that in. When they raise it up, it's out of play. 8 Goose at the moment. Tip from Moorer. She tried to put that to the near side. That was way out of play. And a timeout from Henry Ford as they're down 9-0 to open up set number 2. We'll step aside with them. Macomb cruising. This is your home for Monarch Volleyball. 9-zip out of the timeout. Kulaga still on the service. It'll be an ace off the hands of Thaxton. Check that. Kanunen shanked out of play near the scorer's table. 10-0. I haven't seen this all season here at home for these Monarchs. And it's 10-1. They break the streak. Kulaga had been playing with fire the entire time she was serving. Just clipping the top of the tape. It was rolling over that time, a little short for an error. Side out for Jade Bates and the Hawks. Floating serve to Kuna, who dug it out. Now Brooke Baker finds the line. Point Macomb. Baker getting on the action, going vertical. Karis Terry sits down. Kaylee Eller into the contest. It's Hutton, Kulaga, Kuna, Flom, Baker, and Eller. There's a set for Natalie Hall, who just barely got it over. Now Baker looking to find another point. She will. Deflected on the block, sent to the back row. Kanunen could not keep it up enough to play it. 12-1, set 2. Macomb won set 1 handedly, to say the least, 25-7. Kuna lines one into the net for a service error. The only 2 points Henry Ford has in this set have come from Macomb's poor service. Madison Stager will check in as Kanunen out. Henry Ford also missing 3 of their players tonight. Destiny Guzman, Nicole Pinkosen, and Janae Sky. Tooled out of play on the swing from Flom. Point Macomb make it 13-2. Flom having a very easy time on the outside there on her swings. She'll serve now towards that back corner. High bump set. Stager just barely gets it over inside the antenna. Hutton, cross-court set. Baker, and the kill. Partially deflected, wouldn't have mattered. She had that in play all day. 14-2. We mentioned 25-7, their largest margin of victory in a set this season. 15-2. Thaxton diving to try to dig that out on the second touch. Let's see if Flom can go on a little run here, serving the volleyball. One of the top hitters in the MCCAA East with just over 200 kills. Nice block from Corinne Hutton. That ball just stayed on the net, rolled across from antenna to antenna on the Henry Ford side. There's really no chance there to return that play. My goodness, 16-2. Flom floats one in the middle. Malia Brown had it. The tip from Moorer. Hutton gets it up, and now Eller's blocked. Eller's second chance into the net. Good defense there from Henry Ford to block that. Chloe Smith will now check in for Valerie Esteban Perez. Sydney Moore to serve. Likely related to Sasha Moorer, one of the assistant coaches alongside Ariel Fox. Head coach is Kia Chambers, and Baker having herself a night. Cross-court kill. And we've watched her grow as well as a freshman, because earlier in the homestand here for this team, earlier in the season here at Chippewa Valley, she'd be taking those shots from the 10-foot line and they'd be going into the net. She's getting head and shoulders above the net, and a little more topspin has led to a lot more success on those deeper attacks. And Eller bats that one into the hands of Brown. Shot back out of play, 18-3. Eller picks up yet another kill. It's pretty evenly spread, I will say, between Flom, Baker, Eller, and Beaker. When it comes to total kills on the night, Stager, she'll find one. First kill of the set for Henry Ford. It's 18-4. Well done from Stager. She's one of the top players, the top hitter on that Hawk squad. Malia Brown to the middle. Nearly an overpass. Hutton tips it over. It's a scramble for Jade Bates and the Hawks. Smith jousting with Eller. Now it's Hutton to bat it down. Oh, the tip from Hutton just out of play. So back-to-back points for Henry Ford the first time this set. It's 18-5. Set up by Hutton. There goes Beaker on the roll. Set. Thaxton just has to tip it over. More of a free ball that time. Beaker's swing and kill. Thaxton unable to get there, splitting both Thaxton and Brown. Kaylee Eller, last time she was on service, put together 10 straight. She were to do that again, set would be over. Stager goes cross that time. Nice job from Hutton to dig it out. Bump set, 10-foot line swing from Beaker, tipped off of the net. Henry Ford has it. Two-hand dump to the back, and that's good. Nobody in that back corner. Kaylee Eller diving to get there, could not. So a side out here for the Hawks, trailing by 13. It'll be the Westland, Michigan native, Gracie Kanunen on service. Terry tips it to the middle. Nice diving dig from Moorer. Here's the set. Terry looking for another one. They just get it over, does Henry Ford. Set up, Beaker, the roll shot towards the back. One of the longer rallies of this set. Kuna couldn't get there after it's off the hands of Flom. 19-7 now. Henry Ford showing a little fight. It was 18-2. Now a 5-1 run for him. Strong service, overpass, Baker. And Chloe Smith bats it down for a point. Kanunen on a streak with the service. Macomb got to get back to their basics. Beaker, that roll shot. Shanked up, Beaker on the tip, that's out of play. That's an overpass that needs to be batted down. Instead, Beaker goes for the two-hand push, and that was wide of the net, or wide of in play. Flom gets right for Macomb. Cross-court kill, there it is, 20-9. Monarchs want to end this second set quickly and move on to the third. They're up by 11. Corinne Hutton, multicolored shoes, one purple, one neon. Good service there. Chloe Smith on the swing, blocked. Terry couldn't find it. She turned around, it was right in front of her. And showing some fight are the Henry Ford Hawks here in set number 2. Hutton gets that second touch. Beaker just got to get it over. It's blocked. Nice job from Kuna to keep it up. Terry tips to the middle. Set up for Thaxton. Deflected off the hands of Beaker, and a point for Henry Ford once more. So creeping back into this set. They were down 13, now they trail only by 9. More unforced errors than anything by Macomb here in set 2. Kuna the bump set. There's Flom. Blocked, batted up by Bates, but directly into the net. Macomb wins a crucial point there to go up 21-11. Kulaga will get back in, looking to serve here most likely, and she will. Other matches around the MCCAA East. Jackson against Mott. We mentioned SC4 taking on OCC. Bates with a tip over, nearly an overpass. Hutton has to bump set it backwards. Kulaga with the roll shot. Set up, Thaxton is blocked. High into the rafters. Barely getting it over on that second touch does Henry Ford. Here's the set, Terry to the middle. Thaxton, another try, two-hand dump. Baker gets there. Here's the set for Flom. Tipped up, that would have been out of play. Thaxton bats it right into the net. After a long rally, Macomb wins it off the error from Henry Ford. It's 22-11. Those are the only MCCAA East matchups. Mott and SC4, the likely heavy favorites for both of those matchups. Overpass, joust between Moore and Baker. That one somehow stays inside the antenna. 22-11 is your score. Here comes Flom, bats it down for a kill. Macomb felt that pushback from Henry Ford after they strung together several points and said, we're going to try to end this thing early. It's 23-11. Kulaga still on the service. Line shot off the hands of Brown. Third touch. Well done from Esteban Perez. That's set over the net. Point Henry Ford. That's set there from Hutton. A little more east to west than north south if you're looking at the net the way we are. Hutton the set for Baker. She tips it in. Brooke Baker. An impressive second set from her. It's 24-12. Set point here as Alexis Kuna will now serve. Kuna, another sophomore on this team, leads in digs, coming in with 241, 66 assists, which is second, and 19 service aces. That's a service error there, though, as she leaves it deep. It's 24-13. Macomb got out to a 10-0 start in this set. They were up 18-2 at one point. Here's the setup for Flom to finish the set. Calling for it, Malia Brown. Instead, grabbing it was Stager. Hutton to set one more time for Eller. This one's up out of the back. Stager barely gets there in time. That's out of play. No, it's in play. Oh, man, Sophia Kulaga. Her and I both thought that that was out. She let it go. 24-14. Henry Ford still hanging around here in set two. Baker to Hutton. Her set is for Eller. Deflected. Can it stay up? No. Macomb wins set two, 25-14. They take care of business after a large lead was fizzled. Regardless, they're up big. We'll take a quick break, come back for set three. Macomb trying to finish in style and sweep yet another match. It would be the third sweep that they would have of the year in conference play. They've already done it to Henry Ford once, did it to Jackson. Let's see if they can get the Hawks twice and finish this in three. This is your home for Macomb Monarchs Volleyball. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Macomb Monarchs Volleyball. Tom Cavanaugh bringing you through all of tonight's action from Chippewa Valley High School, home of the Big Reds out here in Macomb County. We're away from Warren, Michigan on campus at Macomb due to some athletic renovations that they're having done to their entire athletic facility. It is going to be revamped and looking good for next year. And that brings me into talking about men's, women's basketball. They get started early November, will not be at home until late December, early January. And those home games will be played at the Mathai Center at Wayne State University. It is an incredible facility on campus, home of the Warriors, and both women's and men's basketball led by Christopher Burns on the men's side, Kurt Caroline on the women's side. Going to be set for a great season of ball. Men's trying to go for another Eastern Conference title. Women's trying to make the playoffs yet again. It'll all get started in just about a month. Just a few weeks, actually. But not at Mathai till late December, early January. Macomb starts off hot once again to open up set 3. Corinne Hutton with the service ace. 1-0. 25-7 and 25-14 are your scores after the first two sets. Macomb can save their legs a little bit and get out of here in 3. It'll be beneficial. You try to keep an eye on the OCC SC4 score to see if they take lone possession of 4th place, the final playoff spot. Cross-court kill there for the Hawks, ties it up at 1. So after tonight, Macomb will be on the road for their next 3 in a row. Next week, next Monday, it will be playing Schoolcraft. Then they're at Jackson, and then at SC4. They'll finish the year at home here at Chippewa against the Mott Bears, another team vying for that top spot, trying to win the conference for a second straight season. Oh, I'm sorry, 3rd straight season it would be for the Bears. Macomb up 2-1, just won that last point. Kulaga on the side out will serve. Liner to the middle, off the hands of Esteban Perez. Moore with the set. Thaxton out of play. Not by much. Tried to go cross court there. Well done from Hutton to realize that was a little high. Macomb has definitely improved mightily since the last time these two teams played, as Kulaga lines one right into the net for an error. Back to Henry Ford. Scores from their first matchup this year in a 3-0 sweep for Macomb. It was 25-21, 25-16, and 25-15. Macomb has already won both sets by wider margins than any 3 of those sets. Flom finds another kill, deflected off the hands of Stager on the far side near the antenna. It's real reactionary for that back row when you have a deflected attack that trickles towards the back 3 and it's just diving towards the floor. Kuna with the service for Macomb. Set up for Natalie Hall, another freshman at 5'7", left that deep. (5-2), set 3, Macomb up 2-0. Kuna again, cross court that time. Set up, Stager pounds it into the netting. Macomb has found success on their own. Flom, Beaker, Baker, Eller. Cares Terry as well in the strong kills, but a lot of unforced errors coming from Henry Ford. That 3rd touch from Hall just could not get over in time. 7-2 here in set 3. And that's what you got to do. You take advantage of the unforced errors that teams will give you. Did it against Jackson a couple of weeks ago. They're implementing it here again tonight. Strong swing from Thaxton, much too deep. And back-to-back plays right there. That is a good representation of what I had just mentioned. Kuna serves again. Floater towards that front row. Moore with a 2-hand dump. Kuna's there for it. Set up for Eller. Deflected off the swing into the stands. Kill for Eller and a 9-2 lead for the Monarchs. Kuna once more. Esteban Perez, set for Stager. Too strong. Well done from Macomb to not put a hand on that volleyball. Stager had a strong swing straight down the line on the far side. It was Flom, Hutton, and maybe Kulaga all had a chance, an opportunity to put their hand on that, try to keep it in play. They did not. It's 10-2 now. Nearly an overpass. Getting it over with the tip is Moorer, Sydney Moorer, that is. Baker with the roll. It's drilled into the net. Her momentum moving backwards, kind of off her back foot there, trying to roll that one over. Just left it a tad bit short. Chloe Smith will check in for Esteban Perez. Moore's service to Flom. Hutton sets it up. Eller on the swing, tapped up. Chloe Smith, along with Natalie Hall, could not elevate it enough. 11-3. Flom with the left hand on the service. Here's the set. Hall, partially deflected by Eller, who had partial block. And now batted straight into the net off of the hands of Moorer. Just could not keep that in the air the last couple for Macomb. Henry Ford's had trouble playing up. 12-3, third set. Macomb cruising once again, trying to take care of business here at home. You're watching Monarchs Volleyball. Tonight's Macomb Monarchs broadcast is brought to you by First State Bank. Bank with people who live where you live. FSB offers local decisions, personal service, and deep roots in the Southeast Michigan communities that we serve. First State Bank. Go visit a branch today. Service ace for Jordan Flom makes it 13-3. Running away with set 3. After Henry Ford showed some fight in that second. They were trailing 10-0. Final score was 25-14. Chloe Smith on the scramble that time, tips it into the net once more. And the lead continues to balloon. Without a scoreboard here, we got to keep you updated. 14-3. Flom another service. More of that front set to Stager, partially blocked. Diving dig from Flom. There goes Baker, cross court. She's blocked. Kept it up with her elbow. Flom on the roll to the middle. They're going to reset. How about Brooke Baker keeping that up? Swing out of play from Stager. That point is all over. Brooke Baker right there. Just a chicken wing. Stuck out the elbow, popped it up. Kulaga was there for the second touch. Flom got it over, and Henry Ford on the miscue. That was impressive. Free ball to the middle, calling for it is Flom. Cross-court set, Baker with the tip. Moorer is there for it. And off the hands of Baker. Nice swing from Stager. Didn't jump all that high from the 10-foot line. Stager is 6 foot, tallest on the Henry Ford team and tallest on the floor. Kaylee Eller at 5'11" is the tallest for the Monarchs. Flom could not keep that up in play. It hit the antenna or just wide of it. Back-to-back Henry Ford points makes it 15-5. So I'd love to get you a score update from SC4. See what that's looking like with the OCC Owls, the other team battling for 4th place with Macomb. Kaylee Eller, not a lot on that swing, pounds it into the netting. 15-6, 3 straight points for the Hawks. They did the same thing a little bit later in set 2 when they were down 18-2. Cut the deficit to 20-11 at one point. Hutton's set high in the air. Eller rolls it to the middle. Stager going to try again. Way out of play. Good communication from all 6 Monarchs. Back up by 10. Kara Beeker will check in for Kulaga as Brooke Baker set to serve. Jade Bates with the first touch. Moore sets it up for Smith. Diving is Baker, who cannot dig it out. Nice placement from Smith on the near side corner. Malia Brown in for Madison Stager. Hutton the bump set, and Beeker leaves one short. That's several unforced errors now from Macomb. Make it 16-8. Beeker currently grabbing at that left hip. Possibly in some pain there as she went for that swing. Hutton the back set for Eller, and she'll find the kill. That's the get-right point Macomb needed. There were just several in a row there that were batted into the net. Did not get enough over to make it playable. 17-8 late in set 3. Macomb on their way to sweep this. They continue the pace they've been at. That's 3 touches off the hands of Thaxton. Should have gone for the tip over to keep the play alive. Instead, she went for a set on that 3rd touch, or maybe somewhat of a 2-hand dump cross court. Eller's service up by 10. Bates defends it off. Now Thaxton on the swing, tooled out of play off the hands of Terry and Hutton. Thaxton just one of the 2 sophomores along with Jade Bates. Valerie Esteban Perez, service. Beeker got to get it over. Strong roll shot there, went to the middle. And now out of play off the hands of Thaxton. Did not get the elevation she had on the last swing. That was the difference between a point the Hawks' way and an error out of play. 19-9 closing in on the end of set 3. Corinne Hutton, floating service. The set for Bates, partially blocked, kept up by Beeker. Calling for it is Baker now. Flom with the tip. Brown gets over in time. There's the bump set. Flom, cross court, in play. Well done from Jordan Flom. Continues to be that #1 option for Macomb all year long. 20-9, Hutton serving once more. And shanked off the hands of Esteban Perez. Another service ace for Hutton. She was 4th on the list coming in with 30. She was tied for 3rd with Brooke Baker, 31 apiece. Diving for it more, can't get there, and after back-to-back aces, that comfortably puts Hutton in 3rd place behind Flom and Kulaga. Timeout called by the Hawks as it's 22-9 at the tail end of the 3rd. We'll keep it here. You got to give this entire Macomb team credit. In these matchups where they heavily outweigh the opponent talent-wise, they do a great job of not only utilizing their top playmakers, but also sharing the wealth. We've seen Brooke Baker make some plays, Karis Terry chipping in at times, Kara Beeker doing the same, and then the service. Kaylee Eller has been fabulous on serve, so has Sophia Kulaga. Hutton with back-to-back service aces right there. It's a full team effort, and head coach Doogie Rochelle doing a nice job of getting the most out of this team, especially these freshmen, because this is, I'd say, a half-and-half team. You got 3 freshmen along with 7 sophomores. so a little more veteran-based, but all three freshmen play a big part in Baker and Terry and Hutton. We've talked about it before. Corinne's taken over that setter role for Paige Elliott, who was the go-to girl last year. And I made the argument Hutton's the best setter in the conference. And certainly Flom up there is one of the top hitters, and Karis Terry, you could make an argument as the top blocker. He is definitely top 10 in blocks around the MCCAA across all divisions. 22-9, here's your score coming out of the timeout. Batted down from Flom on the joust, and 2 points away from a sweep and a 12th win of the year. They would move to 4-4 in conference play, and if OCC were to lose today, Macomb would be sole position in 4th place in the division. Jade Bates with the tip to the middle, diving dig from Alexis Kuna, and Beaker leaves that way short. Did not get a lot on that one. Still a 13-point advantage, 23-10. Jade Bates on to serve. Hutton to set it up. Terry gets it over. Thaxton blocked, battered around, somehow got over by Thaxton. The two-hand dump to the middle from Hutton is played up. Hutton will set once more. Cross court, Flom tooled out of the hands of Esteban Perez, and it is match point, 24-10. Kulaga will enter to serve for the match.
Now into the Monarch game, serving number 6, Sophia Kulaga.
Hawks to fall to 3-12 on the year. 1-7 in conference play. They'll have lost 5 of their last 6 matches. Macomb would be 12-10, 4-4 in the Eastern Conference of the MCCAA. Sydney Moorer, two-hand dump to the middle, finds some room. And it's side out now for Henry Ford. Madison Stager back in for Malia Brown. And Ellison Thaxton to serve to keep the Hawks' chances alive. Hutton sets it up. There goes Flom. She's blocked. Stager denies Jordan Flom. First time we've seen that tonight. Flom's had her way. Almost every single one of her swings throughout tonight has gotten through to that back row and almost always landed in points. Bump set for Baker. The roll shot. Tipped up. Joust at the net. Terry's there. And a point for Henry Ford on a net violation. Not done yet are these Henry Ford Hawks, 24-13. Service to the middle. Hutton, the back set, Flom to finish. Out of play. No deflection off the hands of the Hawks. Just got word SC4 up 2-0 against OCC, and they're well on their way to a win, which would send OCC into 5th place. Macomb has now locked up 4th if the Skippers get it done out in Rochester. A 3-set sweep, 25-7, 25-14, and 25-14. Macomb the better team tonight. They showed it. Handling business in 3 sets. Brooke Baker puts the finishing touches on a 12th win of the year. Back-to-back wins for the Monarchs after losing 3 straight. Great response to beat OCC, a very talented team in this conference, and taking care of business. Macomb will not be home again and us on the broadcast until October 29th against the Mott Bears. Always a testy rivalry between those two teams. They have 3 road matches before that date. They'll face Schoolcraft, the Ocelots on the 20th. They got Jackson on the road on the 22nd. And then SC4, the top team in the conference, on the 27th. Want to give a big thank you to everybody involved tonight. Once again, Macomb takes it in 3 sets, 25-7, 25-14, and 25-14. This is Tom Cavanaugh saying so long from Chippewa Valley High School. We'll be back here October 29th against the Mott Bears And hopefully at that point, Macomb will have either locked up a playoff spot or will have to win to get in. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Go Monarchs. Have a great